Hey, it's Evan Mestman here. I'm your Chief Gratitude Officer, ProAttitudes. Today, I wanted to tackle a topic we've all dealt with, but seldom when you talk about it. It's cravings and forbidden food. You ever wondered why you can't resist that sugary treat, the donuts, the cupcake, the things that are keeping you stuck and not allowing you to really find your way towards being healthy? Well, today, what I want to do is to talk about how you can actually overcome those cravings. Now, what's the problem? The problem is why you can't just say no to that cupcake. Why is that? It's because it's not about the food, it's about what's eating you on the inside. And that's what we're going to talk about. Unwanted weight is protecting you. What is it protecting you from? Imagine if you let go of that weight and see yourself in the mirror and just say, I love what I see. The problem is it's the inner critic. That inner critic is, maybe you don't know what an inner critic is. Well, remember, a lot of you do know, but for those of you who don't, that inner critic is, it's that little somebody sitting on your shoulder, whispering lies in your ear. It's that part of you that keeps you stuck, that's afraid, always giving you the negative feedback, letting you know why you can't do something. And it really is there sabotaging you. One of them is the perfectionist maestro. You'll hear whispers like, if you don't do this perfectly, don't even bother. But if you do, it's going to turn out your way and nobody else can do it. Why is being perfect so tempting? Well, why are we focused on perfectionism? It's about being self-reliant. It's one of those basic human needs, wanting to be dependable, right? And without having to ask for help. But perfectionism is self-reliance gone haywire. Because it puts you in a place of isolation and fear and vulnerability, and it's all self-imposed. So for a minute, let's just consider what happens if you just let go. Well, letting go would mean that you would make mistakes, which everybody makes mistakes, right? We're all going to fail at something and fail fast, which is the idea. Learn from it, get back up and do it again. But some of us are very uncomfortable feeling that way. Well, that's part of the reasons why you're going for the food. Because when you get to that point, when you get uncomfortable with those feelings, it's easier to just put it all back in the box and go, you know what, I'm just going to eat. And why eat? Because it's cheap and it's available everywhere, right? It's convenient. Everybody can do it. Almost everybody. But at what consequence? So I want you to think about asking for help and looking at that as not a weakness, but a strength. And I'm not just talking about working with me, which I can do is help you with this challenge, but in any time that you feel that the perfectionist maestro, that inner critic comes out, think about it's okay to ask for help, because help means you're collaborating. It means that you don't have all the answers. And as a leader or business owner, I think that's important to realize. It's not all in your back pocket. That's part of the strength, is being able to reach out there and ask so you get different perspectives. How does that tackle the craving, though? Well, the craving is for the forbidden food when you're stressed. That's what's triggering you. And the first step is to really become aware of that. What is specifically triggering you? And then focus on a redirect. What would that focus be? Instead of saying, I'm going to eat something, start getting comfortable, feeling uncomfortable with that feeling. Understand where it's coming from. It's coming from that part of you that for me, my perfectionist maestro came from a father who was extremely critical of anything that I did. And he didn't mean to be, he just wanted it a certain way. And he used to tell me it's either the right way, my way, or the wrong way. And the right way was his way. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. Does that actually fall into reality? It's not real, but it was his way of controlling things. And I took it in and said, well, rather than my father being so critical, it must have been something that is wrong with me. And that inner critic was born that said, hey, you need to be perfect or else. So what I really want you to do is just be aware. Be aware of that inner critic. Are you ready, though, to silence the inner critic? You want to silence them so you can embrace. What do you want to embrace? Self-love. This is about learning to love yourself. It took me a long while, but that realization came first with acceptance that my father was just human. And for you, wherever yours was born, the inner critics, just realize that once you accept that, then it's a matter of coming up with a better way to say, hey, how can I start getting more comfortable being uncomfortable and dealing with these feelings instead of constantly going back to the same thing, which is with these annoying cravings and eating the foods that you don't want and constantly being in this on and off roller coaster ride, and constantly of roller coaster ride of being on and off, or good and bad, on a diet, off a diet, on a crazy exercise program, or off exercise program. What about just being intentional? What about every day focusing on habits, the habits that aren't controlling your life, they're directing your life. Don't let the cravings control your life. It's about climbing the ladder to success, but this time without compromising your health. So if you're ready to get started, DM me. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.